give the enemy too much credit. Why is it that when you start a business, everybody just think that you just do not have nothing to do? And for a long time, I used to be like, why don't people show the ills? Why don't people show the bad sides of things? Because they don't want to be reminded of it. Hey y'all, so in today's video, we are going to be having like a little chit chat or whatever, because girl, entrepreneurship be entrepreneuring and we need to talk about it. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. If you have not already subscribed, be sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your post notification bell on so you won't miss when I post. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. And if you see me looking down, I am looking at my phone, at my notes, so that we can stay on track. When I start rambling, I be all over the place, and I just want to make sure that I am not all over the place. First thing that I want to talk about is the parts that they do not talk about. Expenses, expensive stuff can get, the potential chargebacks that you can receive, family construing what you got going on, thinking that you just don't want to talk or you don't want to be around, and in reality, you just need a break. We're gonna get into all of this. Yes. Common question is, what is the most difficult-est part about running a business? We see the good sides of business. We see everybody with, you know, the multiple orders, they're living their life, they're traveling, but no one wants to talk about the nitty and gritty. And me, what the difficultest part is about running a business is balance. Not being able to like balance, especially like in the beginning, because in the beginning stages of your business, you are literally trying to make sure that you are putting your all into your business, make sure that you are growing it, make sure that you are showing up, being consistent. And if you have a family of your own, it is going to be difficult, not impossible, but difficult for you to balance the two, because it's like, and especially if you are still working a 9-to-5 job, it's going to be difficult for you to handle the two, because either before you go to work or after you go to work, or both, you're going to want to work on your business. At night, you're going to work on your business. When you're in your dreams, you're working on your business. And just finding the time to just make sure that you're spending time with your family, you're not neglecting them, you're not neglecting yourself. It can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. And what I've had done, and it's kind of been working for me for the past year now, is literally just making sure that I am creating a schedule. And why is it that when you start a business, everybody just think that you just do not have nothing to do? It's like, if I told you that I was going to college and I'm studying to be a dentist or a lawyer or whatever the case may be, it's like, oh, okay, we're not going to bother her because she's busy, she can't do it right now. But the moment I say, oh, I'm starting my business, I'm an entrepreneur, they just think you got all the time in the world. And I don't know if it's just me or what, but it just seems like ever since I've started a business that everybody think that they're entitled to my time. And it's like, nigga, I barely have time for myself. It just be so ghetto. And then too, like in these streets, what people do not tell you is, yes, the money is good, it is, but once you get into spending money to like pay for influencers, ads and things like that, that stuff, one, it can get very pricey, and also two, the risk is high, but the gain is high as well too. So you just got to pick a side of, you know, if you're going to take the risk or you're not, and be okay with whether or not, however the outcome is going to be. I've invested in influencer marketing multiple times, and majority have went good, but we got those ones in the cracks that slip through that it be like, bruh. And when you're starting off, especially when you're a small business owner, every dollar count all the way down to the penny. And not to say that we can't afford to take an L, but those L's be hurting real bad and have me in the bed all night crying. And it's just like, bro, then you want to put them on blast, can't put them on blast because you want to represent your brand in a great light. But at the end of the day, it's like, why? Just why? Like, and it's the stuff that people do not talk about. People do not explain it. And for a long time, I used to be like, why don't people tell the L's? Why don't people show the bad sides of things? Because they don't want to be reminded of it. That's why it be, who wants to keep talking about the sad story? Who wants to keep talking about the stuff that went wrong? For what? what you speak out of your mouth is literally what you're gonna keep seeing. So if I done made it and I'm successful, why am I still talking about my struggle unless I'm trying to inspire others to let them know that, hey, I started where you are at and look where I'm at now. In that situation, yes, but to constantly be talking about it over and over again every time something goes wrong or not in your, not the way that you expected or planned to, don't nobody want to talk about that. And I see why, because these past 2 weeks, y'all, when I tell you everything that could have went sideways. So I did announce a couple weeks back that I was launching a new line with my brand, a lock it in bundle with my business. And when I tell y'all, I have been planning this for months. Like, I'm talking about like down to the T, who my vendors were going to be, testing things out. Everything came out amazing. The moment I announced it to the public, when I tell you everything that could have went sideways from me having to load money on the card. I load money on my card all the time. Nothing never goes wrong up until me saying that I was launching this product. And I know it wasn't nothing but and we give the enemy too much credit. I know this was nothing but God testing me just to see if I was going to fall through with it, see what I was going to do if something came up. Was I going to give up or what? A lot of the tests that we be thinking that comes from the enemy, it really be God testing you. So don't fail. I'm telling you, do not fail, because stuff kept on coming up for me. And usually when stuff just keeps coming up, I usually be like, you know what, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. But when I tell you, literally, like I said, me trying to put money on the card, I never have an issue with putting money on my card, and all of a sudden the machines are down with all the stores that were near me. So I was not able to put money on the card for a few days. Me ordering supplies from different vendors that I usually go through usually come through right away. For some reason it's delayed. Influencers that I work with, they were good, but it was a few of them in a bunch that, like, what are you doing? And I could have easily took that and was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this no more. It's not working, and I'm not doing it. But one thing about business, it's gonna test you, and it's gonna see if you a real one or not, because it'll tell real quick who this is really for and who it is not. Business is definitely not for the weak. It's not for the weak-minded. That's why it is like so important, especially if you are going to be in this for the long run and running a business, to make sure that you are healing personally, making sure that you are meditating, making sure that you are praying, making sure that you are going to therapy if that is what you need. Even if you don't need it, people need somebody to talk to. You can't, everything that goes on with in you and in your head, you can't talk to about with everyone, and you should not want to talk about it with everyone, especially if you are still around people who you feel like you are afraid that if you tell them something personally about you, that it's going to get around to everyone. Having a therapist is definitely essential, especially with being a business owner, because it is stuff that you want to get tested by life. Start a business. Finding the time to do everything, that is another thing that is just like, dog, because even with me, like, having a schedule, doing time blocking, making sure that I write down everything that I'm doing the night before so that I'm on track, it still feels like I need more than 24 hours in a day. And some days I'll be like, dog, God had to give these people 2 extra hours per day for them to make this happen. And it's like, a lot of times we can think, it feels like everything is out of order, but a lot of times too, what we do, and which can definitely lead to burnout, is that we be trying to do so much, trying to keep up with everybody else, and thinking that we just behind, and we, if I don't post 5 times a day, then nobody's gonna see my stuff, I'm not gonna get no orders. And that's not true at all. I find that on my list, if I put more than 3 things on my list to do, I'm not gonna do it. Not even that I can't do it, but you have to be realistic with your life and where you're currently at. If you know that you work a full-time job, if you know that you have kids, you know that you have other obligations outside of your business, putting 6 things on your list is not ideal. And you know that you can only really get 2 or 3 things done. That is okay. If you get 2 or 3 things done a day, literally, if you do something 3 times a day, every single day for the next 365 days, you have literally done 1,065 things for the year. Some people don't even do 3 things a year, and you know, to move the needle. So if you can only do 3 things a day, or even 1 thing a day, you're still moving 1 step closer. And that's another thing that I be having to know and just tell myself. It come from that work hard, hustle hard mentality, thinking that if I don't work, I don't get paid. And in some cases that does, you know, that is true, especially if you're working a 9 to 5. If you don't come to work, you ain't gonna get paid. But when you are running a business online, like, that's not always the case, that if you don't work hard, you are not going to get paid. Because for one, if you are making amazing content that has value in it, that is exactly what your target audience is looking for, whether you're posting 1 time a day or 3 times a day, it's not gonna make too much of a difference, especially if you are putting content out that is bullshit. If you're posting 3 times a day, that's 3 bullshit posts that you're posting a day, and it's still not getting reached. So it's going to make you discouraged. It's going to make you upset. You're going to want to give up. And for me, what I do and what I'm just now starting to implement, like I'm just starting to do this, is to focus on the quality of what I'm putting out versus the quantity. Because yes, I can put out 3 fucking videos, you know, every time that I post, but is with my business too, is that feasible for me? For someone who has accessories, yes, that might be feasible for you. You can definitely do three videos a day. You can do multiple things. But for someone who has like a hair care business, or something that is like a wig or something like that, baby, it's only so much you're gonna be able to do by yourself. Yes, you can make a video and turn it into 7 different pieces of content, but the actual physical work, you're only going to be able to do so much, and you're going to have to repurpose and all this stuff to say. So what I'm saying is, like, just not overworking yourself, not, you know, just finding the time to do things, and just being okay with not just hustle, because what you're going to find is burnout. And I recently experienced that too. Burnout, I don't know if you guys have experienced that or not, but that is literally when you are exhausted, your body is exhausted, you are mentally exhausted, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do nothing, and you cannot figure out why. And it is because you are putting too much on your plate. You are only one person, you are only human, you cannot do everything, and that is a problem for me too, sis. I'm not getting on you, but I'm just letting you know, you cannot do everything. Like, that's why they got these scheduling apps out here. That's why they got VRs out here. That's why they got social media managers and people that you can hire for help, because you can't do it alone. It's impossible to do it alone. And if you try to do it alone, you're going to lead to burnout. And when I tell you burnout is not a good feeling at all, like, not a good feeling. When I tell you I did not want to do nothing and did not do nothing for almost a week, couldn't think of nothing, my creativity was blocked, couldn't think of no good new ideas, overthinking, like, all of that comes from burnout, and all of that comes from just a place that you just do not want to be in. Another thing, girls, staying in your lane as a business owner. Let me pour me some drink on it. Yeah, because a lot of y'all be in other people's business that y'all need to be minding your own business. But two, that I had to do this year is unfollow a lot of people who inspired me. Not even on no malicious stuff, not even on no, you know, just don't want to follow them. But it comes to a place where, especially when you are a business owner and you are following multiple people who are like up there, and after a certain amount of time, you are going to start comparing yourself. You are going to start looking at them and thinking in your head, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Trying to keep up with them at a certain level. And I found myself, especially like with my wig business in the past, like following people that were above me, and although I was inspired by them and I really looked up to them, it got to a point where like I was questioning myself, and I'm like, why, like why I'm not why I'm not in a certain spot. We started at the same time, and just all this crazy stuff, and it's like, you cannot do that, especially when you are in business. You want to stay in your own lane, because girl, you'll be sitting up comparing yourself to something that don't even have nothing to do with you. Yeah, their business is doing all this, that, and third, but you don't know what they did to get where they needed to be. And then, not to say that they did anything malicious or like out the way, but you'll be the whole time like, oh my God, let me tell y'all. I'm not even gonna say her name because it don't even matter at this point. But it was this one person who I loved, like followed her, loved her. I loved her. I loved her lifestyle. I loved the business that she built. All of this, girl. Why this girl, come to find out, she lied about how she really obtained the success. And then, girl, she did some off the wall stuff, trying to get people unalived and all this crazy stuff. If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't. But I really looked up to this girl and like really was like, damn, like she really doing the thing. Like she was literally my family member in my head. I'm like, I'm showing my husband like, yes, this is my family member, and I really look up to her. And then just to see things come out about her, it really was like a wake-up call and like a slap in the face, because it's like, you got to be careful who you looking at and idolizing in a way, because you will sit up and be looking up thinking that somebody is one way, and behind closed doors they have an ugly spirit. They are empty in the inside, and they are very malicious in real life. And you can't really believe everything that is on social media and what people perceive. So that is why it is so important to stay in your own lane and appreciate your own journey. Yeah, you might not be exactly where you want to be at. Yeah, your business, you might be only getting 1 or 2 sales or whatever the case may be, or you may not have received your first sale yet, and that is perfectly fine. Everyone who started legitly did not start with any followers, did not start with any sales, did not start with all the things that you think that they started with. You comment onto their pages and seeing their success, seeing them share all these things, that's because they've been in the game. They have been doing it for a long time. And even when you see people that just seem like they exploded all overnight, that's okay too. That may be their journey. You don't know what they're going through behind the scenes. Just because you see somebody blow up overnight, a lot comes with a business, especially if you just blow up overnight. You don't got the inventory like that for real. You really wasn't expecting it. You got to keep up with that momentum, and you got to keep up with the inventory. And it's like running around with it like a chicken with no head. Like, and you just gotta be grateful for where you are. Be thankful for, even if you are getting one sale, that's one more person that knows about you. That's one more person that gets to experience what you have. And even when you're shipping out that one order, you better pack it with love. You better pack it with everything that you got in you, because word of mouth is a mug. And you've been sent out that one order thinking that, oh, it's just one person, I only got one order, and that one person knows somebody that'll put you on, and now your business is flourishing and thriving. It's in people's heads. People are word of mouth, and they're sharing it. They're showing people what they got and how much they love it. And now you're wondering, how did all these people come to me? And it's because you were disciplined, and you were consistent, and you were grateful for even that one order. Don't be looking at everybody else's journey thinking that it's just never gonna happen to you. Girl, you better get that out your vocabulary. You better start speaking into existence what you want to see. I am a millionaire. I am receiving multiple orders every day. I am making consistent 6-figure months every single month. Girl, you better start speaking it, girl. Don't wait on nobody to be telling you what you are eligible for, or what you girl, you better start speaking that success, because one thing about it, two things for sure, I'm gonna speak into existence what I want to see. I'm already a successful millionaire. And a lot of questions too what people have is, how can I manifest from a place that I'm not there yet? Girl, what would you be doing if you had 1,000 sales right now? What would you be doing if you was a multimillionaire? I bet you'll be in there making whatever you sell. I bet you'll be in there strategically writing out your numbers, making sure everything adds up. I bet you'll be getting up every single day and planning your day out, because you know you have a lot of stuff to do for the day because you're a multimillionaire. Start showing up as that. You have to start showing up every single day. Success does not start at the finish line. It starts at the beginning. 1 sale turns into 5 sales. 5 sales turns into 50 sales. 50 sales turns into 100 and beyond. But you have to start. And yeah, that's just, girl, I can go on and on about that topic. I can go on and on. Yeah, y'all, I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all and have this conversation, because I don't see many people having like girl talks about business and what it's really like behind the scenes and what really goes down. So yeah, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure that you leave me a comment down below and say yes. Like, girl, I watched it. We need more of these talks, because here, we need to have these conversations. We can't have these conversations with the people around us. So we need to be having these conversations together. So this is the end of this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. If you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also turn your post notification bell on so you won't miss when I upload. But until next time, you guys,